Hello and welcome to the first edition of the Softball Australia Cup here in Downy Park in sunny Queensland. It's going to be a massive 4 days of softball between Japan, cross Tasman rivals New Zealand, and of course Aussie Spirit. It's going to be a pretty new look side for the Spirit here as well. Of course, they played against the USA at the start of the month, and to take you through the changes in the side and of course to lead our broadcast, I'll introduce our broadcast team, James Harris and Australian softball legend Joyce Lester.
Thanks a lot, Georgia, and great intro. Great to be here calling the action for the Australia Cup, and amazing to have you with me, legend of our sport, Joyce Lester. Welcome, Joyce. Georgia mentioned it. What are we going to be expecting for this tournament?
Well, it's going to be very interesting because I think the Australian team have so many new players. We've got 5, first-in timers. You've got Arwen Kavanagh, you've got Myra Geros, Hood, and Bastian, as well as Chelsea Robinson, who's come back to play after having a baby. So it's going to be great to watch all these players and see how they're going to go up against international competition.
2 of those players in the starting lineup. I'm looking forward to seeing these 2 teams go head-to-head, because not only are they fighting for their own spot in their own team, but they're looking to position their teams for what's to come in the next 2.5 years.
Oh, absolutely. And everyone knows we get straight into the World Cup because we're the host nation, but everything counts. It's so psychological. These girls need to get out there, play their best, and actually start beating some of these teams so that when they get to the World Cup, they're going to be the team to beat.
Can't wait. The action's not too far away, but before we get there, we're going to cut to a clip of how Team Australia has got here, and they are out for redemption.
It's been a summer of challenge, grit, and unfinished business for the Aussie Spirit. They opened the summer with authority, taking down world number 5, Chinese Taipei, and reminding the world that Australian softball can be.
Oh, she shipped it. Is it over? It's in the gap. That's it.
Then came the Giants, Team USA, on Australian soil for the first time in 25 years. A bruising contest where the scoreboard never told the full story.
And Brito bombs it. Runners on all bases. It's gone over.
The Spirit walked away knowing that they were close, but not close enough. Now, the world's best away, Japan, world number 1, relentless, the benchmark in global softball. And across the ditch, New Zealand, charging up the world standings and hungry to take a trans-Tasman scalp. For the Aussie Spirit, the Softball Australia Cup is the pathway to the World Cup, the pathway to LA 2028. But before they chase the ultimate prize, they chase redemption.
Park. Well, it feels like temperature of about 29, which is pretty consistent and nice for Brisbane temperatures at this time of year, to be honest. There's a light breeze coming through, which I think is probably going to actually provide some more relief rather than affect any sort of pitching. So it'll be interesting to see how these players will go. Of course, this is the first game of the series. Let's have a look at how both the teams will be lining up.
Thanks, Georgia. Georgia Rajic joining us on commentary in the lineups, Joyce, for this game. Team Australia starting out with their ace, Kendra Lamb, throwing to returning veteran Taylor Titsakronis.
Yeah, and that's such a great start. You always want to play your first game and start with your heat and your best team. And so Coach Porter has done that. And Kendra Lamb, look, every time she turns up for Australia and she's on the mound, she gets better and better.
Around the defensive infield for Team Australia, Jenna Trim at first, Tamika Whitefield at second, Kylie Steamers at third, and Maya Giros at shortstop. Maya Giros, a debutante for today's game.
Yes, and I think shortstop's one of those positions that is, not open. We've got some good shortstops, but, I think Giros is going to be in here to be tested. We often see her on second base. But, of course, Tamika Whitefield is the number 1 second base at the moment. So it'll be really interesting to see if she rises to the occasion.
Coaches just having their pre-game meeting with the umpires. Outfield left to right for Australia, Pippa Adkins, Sarah Ryu and Nicole Conacher. Just called into the lineup just recently for an injury. And then New Zealand having a look at their lineup. Erin Blackmore's going to be leading off. She's got a great connection here in Australia. Poppy Priddle batting 2. Dr. Lara Andrews batting 3. And one to look out for, a third-generation player batting in the 4th spot, Denver Shaw Tate.
Yes, she has a history of softball legends. Her mother, Kiri Shaw, and of course her grandmother, Naomi Shaw, who was just the most amazing hitter for New Zealand.
And you played against 2 of them?
Well, just slightly with Kiri, but definitely against Naomi. She was one of the best batters in the game.
Just the remaining starting 9 hitters for New Zealand. And hello to everyone back at New Zealand watching. Please go easy on my pronunciation. Batting 5 in the DP spot is Lace Tonganoa. And then Ivani Gibson, Hayley Breakwell, Kerry Simeon, Danica Fariso and Tanisha Hokamo. It's a strong lineup and they're just coming out of their season as well.
Yes, look, they've been renowned for being a fantastic nation for softball, given that their male counterparts are just one of the best in the world. It's such a good training ground for all of these players, having some of the best players in the world playing in their country, the men's version. And I think with New Zealand coming into this tournament, they're going to be the same as us. They're going to be building, trying out players, as will Japan. You know, everyone's trialling new players in there and seeing how they're going to go in the lead up to the World Championship.
Now, we have some formalities to get through before the start of the game. We're going to see New Zealand haka, and we're also going to have the national anthems.
In left field, number 15, Poppy Priddle.
Player introductions, just first and foremost. New Zealand on the first base side, Joyce, will be batting first. Australia, the Aussie Spirit, will be the home team, and they will field first.
DP is Lacey Toniano. Playing right field, Bonnie Gibson. Shortstop number 33, Hayley Breakwell. Touching uniform number 8, Kerry Simeon. Second base number 12, Danica Fariso. And pitching in uniform number 10.
And perfect conditions here at Downy Park as well, Joyce. We've got a great position right behind home plate. For the locals, they might know the conditions. For those that are new to Downy Park, Joyce, are we expecting a crosswind? Will it be a bit of glare from the sun? What should we expect for the local conditions?
Well, the glare from the sun comes later on this afternoon when the sun goes down, and having played here quite a few times in my past, when dinosaurs roamed the outfield, the sun is basically right in your eyes. So that becomes a difficult time. At the moment, though, it's pretty perfect conditions. No excuses, I would say. And I think they've really spent a long time on the field and tried to get that up to scratch.
That's Team New Zealand, the White Sox, and now time for the Aussie Spirit. One of the team leaders, Tamika Whitefield, be leading things off.
She's got so much experience, that girl, and she's really grown into the game and into leadership positions, Tamika. I mean, I can't believe it's the same girl that I knew when she was growing up in under-19s. I look at her now and you talk to her and you think, oh my goodness, this girl has really matured in her softball knowledge and team cohesion.
Maya Juros is hitting 2 in the lineup. One of 2 debutants in the starting 9, along with Chelsea Robinson, who is returning to the Aussie squad after having her first child, as is the number 3 hitter, Taylor Titsakronis.
Yeah, great to see them back, and I think the team will really it'll be a great advantage for the Australian team having the two of them. They're both great team players.
Two teams, coaches, Craig Wallace for New Zealand and Kerry Porter from Australia. There's Kendra Lamb, starting pitcher on screen. Umpires are being introduced now. Kerry Franklin is behind the plate. Here's our crew of Blues that you'll see calling the balls and strikes, and we will now pause for the national anthems. Anthems, Team New Zealand, Team Australia, and Joyce, still after all these years of retirement, do you still get a tingle?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's really hard standing up there when that happens and you have to stand there and listen to it, and then you think wearing Australia written on your chest is really something else. And I think hopefully these girls are going to do Australia proud and put on a fabulous performance for us here today.
Well, speaking of performances, it's something in world sport that is a sight to see. I've had the privilege of seeing it up close and personal with the New Zealand Black Sox when I was an assistant coach for the Dutch team back in 2013. And it is the haka. Did you have the privilege of seeing this up close on the diamond?
I certainly did. In fact, I always wonder whether it should be allowed. I mean, I've always asked that question because it's a war dance, you know, and it's actually quite threatening. And if you watch most teams when they do it, they come up really close. And when you watch the rugby union team, they all look down at the ground. Nobody looks at the New Zealand team because it's quite threatening. Yeah,
there's an intimidation factor, but at the same time, magnificent to see. Here is the New Zealand White Sox and the haka. White Sox, Aussie spirit, just moments away, and Softball Australia Cup in its first iteration, we return to international softball. It is for the first time since the start of this month when Australia faced off against the USA, Joyce. And there's a little bit on offer now for this team. It's a few new faces as well, so plenty to play for, and we're about to get underway.
Yes, I can't wait. I hope there's a few players in there who are going to put their hand up and take the lead and really put on a great performance for us all. I mean, we're hoping these young girls can get out there and maybe show us how it's done. Our first year in, lack of fear, and go in guns blazing.
That's probably going to be the message, isn't it? Although there is plenty on the line, you've got to play like you got nothing to lose, right? Because you get out there fearless and then you can put on your best performance. These players have just come out of the Australian team, just come out of the National Championship, the Gillies Shield, where majority of these players on the lineup start.
Yes, and most of these players are unknown, so, you know, they won't have scouted them at all. So there's a big chance for them to get in there.
We're going to go down to the diamond, and Georgia Rajic is with Aussie Spirit player Steph Drzezinski.
That's right, I'm here with Steph Drzezinski ahead of Game 1. Okay, Steph, first time back in the squad after missing the last series. Tell me what the mood has been around the camp this week so far.
Yeah, a lot of us are really excited to get out there. New Zealand and Australia have always had a great rivalry, and Japan in the world, we're always going to get good games out of them. So we're really excited for the challenge. Every day closer to our goal, which is and also the Olympics in 2028.
Brilliant, and all the best with the week ahead.
Thank you very much.
Steph Drzezinski is one of the bench players for Aussie Spirit, along with Amber Hood, Abby Bastian, Arwen Kavanagh, Kaya Parnaby, and this is Kendra Lamb. To start off the tournament for Softball Australia, she had a terrific Gillies Shield, an ERA of under 1, 0.2 or 0.3.
Yes, I think she's dominating definitely at the Australian Championships, which walks her into this team every single time. She is still growing at the international level. I know that her aim in most cases is to try and get that strike in early when she's up against the other hitters. She's got a great attitude towards the game, and she really works hard the whole way through when she's pitching.
And she pitched the win for New South Wales at the Gillies Shield, so they regained their stranglehold on that competition. But a partner in crime behind the plate, a return to international softball today for Taylor Tsitsikronis.
I know, it's great to see her back, actually. She's got such attitude behind the plate. She's a very good caller, and I think the team needs leadership, and they need... I always think the catcher's the coach on the field anyway, and they should be doing a lot of the work, setting up plays, and definitely knowing your pitches really well. And Taylor works really hard at that, and she's good, really great at it.
Well, you're not going to get an argument from me that the catcher is the leader on the field, and you and I, Joyce, has spent plenty of time behind the plate. Here we go. This is Erin Blackmore, hometown of North Shore, just north of Auckland, to lead off for the New Zealand White Sox. Lamb fires that one in, inside edge. Get a thumbs up from you, Joyce.
Yes, strike in early in the count. That's exactly what she needs to be doing this whole game, and be consistent at doing it. Just
as you said she would. And ahead of the count, she can go to a bag of tricks.
Yeah, nice change up. And, you know, often I've never mind the change up that goes in the dirt before the catcher. A lot of batters actually have a go at it.
Trying to catch the batter chasing a bad pitch. The change up. In their rhythm. That one's low as well. So, although a first pitch strike for Blackmore, she's ahead of the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Great crowd already for a Thursday afternoon. Kids are back at school. Most parents are back at work.
I'm lucky I have a day off today because I'm doing this. So I've actually taken a contract at a school in Cairns. So it's nice to be here. I must say I'd rather do this.
Oh, any day of the week. That one was outside, tried the curveball to paint the corner. Gets her swinging on this occasion. So the count is full. Leadoff's done her job. Seen 5 pitches already.
She certainly has. And she's a good, quick runner. She used to play here in Brisbane and Redlands before she moved back over to New Zealand.
Oh, she's just fouled it back into her face, so we might have a short break. No, she says she's okay.
That's a great pitch there from Kendra Lamb, right in on her hands, right on the inside.
No second look. She did foul it back into the body. It was up and over the hand, so maybe to the side of the face, maybe the ear of the helmet.
I think so.
Payoff pitch, a ground ball to second. Tamika Whitefield makes the out.
And a very good turn at bat by Erin Blackmore from New Zealand. She took a lot of pitches, and that's usually the aim, especially at the start of the game, to try and get the pitcher to throw as many pitches as possible.
Here's a look at the replay, and you can see the ball was on the inside of the plate. It gets the bottom of the barrel, and Whitefield as easy as they come for a quality second base play like that. One out. Here's Poppy Priddle. Out of Wanganui. Left-handed batter. Right at the back of the box, Joyce, as well. So on the move, that first pitch, looking for perhaps a slap into play.
Oh, I think so. She's obviously quick. I don't know her at all, but she's obviously quick and is trying to get as much run up as possible.
Wide open stance to start with. And that one's in there for a called strike.
Now, she isn't really moving that much, is she, up the box to slap the ball. You know, you'd really want them to be on their way right at the front of the box when they actually slap that ball so they get a good start to first.
Swing and a miss, that one on the outside edge, so perfectly placed from Lamb. If we can get a camera shot of it, it'd be good to see a wide view of the infield of the Aussie Spirit and have a look at the defensive position of Tamika Whitefield.
Oh, yes, they often do shifts. And, of course, look, they do a lot of work, this team, on scouting.
There she is on screen, coming up right next to the pitching circle. And first base player Jenna Trim fielding back, so the one up, one back. Leaving second base open, that's not the threat here. The short play is.
Yes, absolutely.
Swing and a miss for strikeout number 1. Out number 2 of the game, Kendra Lamb off and rolling.
Yes, she's got a great repertoire of pitches, as we've seen already, and it looks like Taylor Tetsakronis is really using that, which is great to see. Always good for the pitcher to get through this first innings with no runners on base. Hopefully Kendra Lamb can do that.
Lara Andrews, the hitter on screen, veteran of this team, in the 3 spot. Had some success on the inside early in this inning, Kendra Lamb, but this one just missing.
Yeah, that inside pitch of hers is deadly.
And then catching the outside edge. And for the Black Sox fans out there, have a look at that wide open stance. It reminds me a lot of Pat Shannon. He used to have both heels on that back line. She's got that wide open stance. Down and away.
And even when she steps, she looks like she's taking a double step, this batter. And she's not really straightening it up. She still is a bit open when she's actually swinging.
Swing and a miss, fouling that one off.
She looks tough. She looks like she really wants to hit the ball.
Dr. Lara Andrews is a professional in the medical field. I'm sure she's got a great nature. Just missing the outside edge, and Titsakronis just holds the glove there a little longer and will no doubt ask plate umpire Franklin how much that missed by.
Not by much. It looked pretty good from here. You know, if you're a batter and you've got 2 strikes on you and you get that pitch, you're going to swing at that.
Inside, fouled. Not a bad connection considering how far inside that was. And Andrews just going through the motions there, just reminding herself to pull through with the hands on that inside edge. But it's a good setup, Joyce.
Yeah. I mean, she looks like a tough competitor. Oh, nice pitch.
And strikeout swinging. So 2 strikeouts in the inning. A 1-2-3 for the Aussie Spirit. And they're going to come into the home half of the first inning with a little bit of momentum.
I know that was fantastic. And it was great to see Taylor Titsakronis go with her best pitch. That rise pitch of Kendra Lamb is beautiful. You know, a lot of times it isn't a strike and you have to learn to stay off it, but it was great. Well, actually, it was great that Lara Andrews had a swing at it.
Yeah, well, great for Team Australia.
Absolutely.
Used it sparingly as well in that first inning, so not trying to give it away too often, as well as the change-up. And there they are on screen, the White Sox. They'll go out to their defensive positions. And I'll just double check the pitcher, number 10. Yep, we do have a DP in this game who's also a pitcher. So just wanted to double check. Pitching is Tanisha Hokamo, who has got plenty of speed and in the research that we've been doing is a powerhouse for this team.
Well, I'll be interested to see how she goes in the lineup. You know, you've got Tamika Whitefield coming in first. And it's a tough lineup in Australia. There's some really good hitters there. And Titsakronis is renowned for hitting the ball over the fence. Gee, I'd like to see that in the first innings. It'd be lovely.
Yeah, starved of hits in the Down Under series, so it would be good to see some more hits in the game. The rest of the New Zealand defence, catcher Kerry Simeon at first, Denver Short Tate, Danica Farizo at second, Lara Andrews at third, Hayley Breakwell at shortstop, and in the outfield left to right, Poppy Priddle, Erin Blackmore and Ivana Gibson. Through the warm-up pitches, just having a chat there, the battery pitcher and catcher, as Tamika Whitefield takes her first step in the batter's box and will lead off for Aussie Spirit.
And hopefully Tamika, being one of the leaders of the team, will be showing by example. Hopefully she'll get in here and be very aggressive. Take quite a few pitches.
Camo down and Whitefield shows bunt first pitch, so not a bad tactic just to throw off the battery who are trying to get started with a strike. Maybe make them think twice about where their next pitch is going.
Yes, it is a great tactic. Put the pressure on them straight away and on the field.
Down and in. So Camo definitely with a plan on Whitefield. She started off inside on both the first 2 pitches. Hasn't missed an international series since 2022, Whitefield, for the Aussie Spirit.
Yeah, she's She came in as a young'un, and she did a great job when she first came in. And then she actually missed out for a little bit, and she's come back a totally different player.
Yeah, that's right. The Pro League series in the States, two years with the Aussie Spirit, then the second year was the Aussie Peppers.
Your memory's good.
I went and watched in Florida one of the series they played. That was fun. Whitefield looking for a early call there for a walk, but called strike from plate umpire Franklin, and the count will go full. Both leadoffs taking the count to full. Payoff pitch is hit hard, but it goes foul. Early signs for Whitefield.
That looked fantastic. I mean, very early on that inside. But she really saw that ball and got that ball.
Not part of my research, but I'm having a look at the outfield fences. They actually look inviting with all those shade tents behind them. What's the distance as she swings, fouls, and stays in the count? What do you reckon, 220 here at Downy Park?
There's been changes at each field, so I'll have to recheck on that one.
Here's another look at that last pitch.
Oh.
The foul ball into the mask of the catcher.
Not a good feeling, that one.
Definitely wakes you up. And that high rise ball is out of the zone, and the Aussie Spirit have a lead-off walk.
Great start for Australia. First batter on first base. And so Jaros, well, this is going to be interesting too, because of, I'm assuming they'll bunt her. First time in the Aussie team, won't want to put too much pressure on her to do a job to get the runners to second base.
Deputon in her Aussie Spirit first game in the left-handed box. Her job will be to advance Whitefield. Pops the bunt up. It was going straight back to the pitcher. And off a bounce, Andrews fires it across to force out the lead runner. Jaros arrives safely to first, but great defense from the White Sox. Have a look how close in Andrews was at third base.
Oh, yes. And look, she did the right thing. It was just because it had air on it that Tamika couldn't take straight off. She had to hold up to see whether it was going to get caught. And I think that was the sad part about it.
Hold and hesitate.
Yeah.
This is Titsakronis. And that is fired in there for a called strike. Flirting with danger, throwing it down the middle to Titsakronis, a noted long ball hitter.
Oh.
Out of the zone.
Well, definitely lost control of that one when I assumed was going to be a change-up pitch, slow pitch.
And that one also in there for a called strike.
Just a little bit of an angle on that inside pitch. Taylor didn't like that call by the look of it.
Juros with a big lead off. That change of pace just out of the zone.
Very unusual change-up. Coming off that finger too late almost.
Bounce this one off to the right side. So Titsakronis now protecting that outside edge. Doesn't look phased, does she? It just looks like a normal day out for her.
It probably is. She's probably had to do so much with the baby before she came out here. She probably thinks this is a rest.
Pulls this one into the 5-6 hole. First base hit for the Aussie Spirit. It's the returning Titsakronis. Australia with runners at 1 and 2.
That's awesome. Great start. We need to keep pushing this New Zealand team. And again, you've got one of the best batters, Jenna Trim's coming up, so hopefully she can back up behind, score these 2 runs. Wouldn't that be great in the first innings?
We are going around the world, Joyce, and hello to anyone who's watching in New Zealand. But this one's hit hard, deep to centre field. One bounce off the fence. Juris is going to score. Tsitsikronis is hot on her heels. She doesn't break stride. The throw is wide. And 2 runs score as Trim is caught in a trap play. Andrews is part of that play. Runs down Trim, will clear the bases. But the Aussie Spirit have drawn first blood. Let's have a look at the replay.
She hit that well, very well indeed. She's a strong hitter. Obviously, she's batting 4, but, you know, she had a little bit of a slump there for a while, but she's really pushed back and obviously worked on it. It's great to see.
First pitch swinging for Pippa Atkins. It's a long ball over the head of centre field. Already at 2. She holds up, doesn't take on the arm. The throw misses the cut, but Pippa Atkins happy to stand up at 2. I was looking at my scorecard. I heard the crack of the bat. And Pippa Atkins stands at 2, and the Aussie Spirit are rolling.
Well, she has been slotting a few of those first pitches in there. Obviously, Pippa's been watching and was ready for that first pitch. And she's really hit that hard. Great start from Australia. 3 hits in a row.
Tsitsikronis, Trim and Adkins, 3 hits in 3 pitches.
Love it.
This is Kylie Steamers. She gets the called strike. So interesting tactic that the battery is still trying to throw strikes even though they've given up 3 hits from the last 3 pitches.
Yeah, at least that was a good corner strike though. The others were probably too much ball on the plate.
And then the change up in the dirt. More a traditional defence, not defending the bunt. As I've seen the intent from the Aussie Spirit. Strong hits from Tsitsikronis. A double from Jenna Trim and then a double from Pippa Atkins. Those last 2 bouncing into the fence.
Fantastic. And Kylie Steamers could do exactly the same thing. Again, she could put the ball over the fence. She's strong, man. She's great.
Nakamo trying to bust inside here. Jam up the right-hand hitter. Out of Melbourne, Victoria. Lives in Queensland, plays for Tasmania. Very similar to Pippa Atkins, only Pippa's hails from Adelaide in South Australia.
Yeah,
Jammed.
she moved this year and played for Queensland.
Kylie Steamers,
Yeah,
right? Yes, you're right.
I know you knew that. But she just moved back into the Queensland team, whereas Pippa stayed. And they both moved together to go to Tassie when that first formed.
Of course, yeah. And both of them made all-tournament team selection at the Gillies Shield a couple of weeks ago. Change up. Foul. Identified the change up early and nearly got it all, didn't she?
She did.
And interesting on your point that she can hit with power. Left field is in quite a bit as well. So obviously the plan isn't to give her anything in her hitting zone as this one gets away from Simeon and Pippa Atkins sees the ball spill and heads into third.
That was a nice pickup, and if they're going to throw change-ups with runners on base, then that's what you should expect, especially with speed like Pippa Atkins.
Hard hit ball fouled.
And it'd be really hard, wouldn't it, as a catcher to know whether to call the change-up with runners on base, because her change-up is really slow, like super slow.
And that one's in the dirt. So bit of trouble for New Zealand early here in the home half of the first inning. 2 walks, 3 hits, 2 runs have scored, runners at the corners, and they will take a timeout to have a bit of a chat. No doubt about the 1-3 split defence, but also sure that Simeon's going to be having a word to her pitcher.
Yes, it's not a great way to start the game. Kendra Lamb had the perfect start, and now you've got New Zealand really struggling to try and get the Aussie batters out. Great from our point of view, though.
Long way to go in this tournament as Chelsea Robinson comes up to bat for her Aussie Spirit debut, and this is a story in its own, isn't it?
Yes.
She's been such a journeywoman over her career. She played in those pro leagues prior to COVID. She was a bullpen catcher at a world championship one year and went away, had a baby, fouls this one off. Won a national championship with the SA Stars and finds her way back in the Aussie Spirit squad and now making her debut. That was a long time coming for Chelsea Robinson.
Look, Chelsea is a battler, man. I remember her as a younger player playing for South Australia, and she was really quite thin in the start, and she's really worked, made herself strong, and she's probably one of the best shortstops and catchers in the country.
Ground ball over to Andrews, who fires it across for the third out. And a nice play to get them out of a jam. Let's have a look at the replay. With 2 strikes, Robinson has to protect that inside edge. Chopper into the dirt, and a nice play from Andrews.
And she really hit the top of that ball, so much so it goes straight down. Unfortunately, because if it had done that further out, it might have gone over the third base's head for a hit. I'm sure the pitcher will be happy to get out of that and to have a rest on the bench.
Well, lead-off walk doesn't help any inning, but they were able to defend, weren't they? They defended that bunt play really well. It was Andrews in the hot corner who had a couple of plays. Actually, she was involved in the trap play, so involved in all 3 of the defensive outs. But the hero of the innings, the 3-4-5 hitters for Australia, single to Titsakronis, a 2-run double from Trim and a double from Atkins. We'll head into the top of the second. There's Kendra Lamb finalising her warm-up pitches, and Australia will lead after the first inning 2-0. Well, probably couldn't have scripted it any better, Joyce, after a challenging USA Down Under series. The Aussie Spirit have scored 2 runs in the first.
Well, I thought I did script that. I did say it'd be great to get 2 runs in the first innings. But it was perfect. Very impressive by the batters. And even the batters, Whitefield was very patient as a lead-off hitter, which is great to see. And also Steamers getting a walk. I mean, they're really regarded as a hit, the base on balls.
Kendra Lamb will be throwing to Denver Sean Tate. And Sean Tate is a 3rd-generation White Sox player. Her mother and grandmother both wore the uniform. Was her grandmother part of the World Cup team, World Champion team?
She was captain. She was amazing.
Of the 1982
in Taiwan. I hate to say that I was there, but makes me old.
And Lamb fires that one in there. And the White Sox, of course, have been a great performer at the World Cups. They've got 4 medals, including a World Cup win, a World Champion win, and a couple of Olympic appearances as well. But their program, would you say, in a word, Joyce, rebuild?
Oh, they're rebuilding right now. And a famous pitcher was at the USA series, Debbie Megan. She was there with one of her other New Zealand great pitchers, Cherie, and they came and watched. They're both back, and they're both wanting to reconnect with players and to also do some coaching, which is their world beaters. Debbie Megan was one of the best pitchers in the world. She had a killer change-up. Beautiful.
Nice pitch from Kendra Lamb. She struck out 3 in a row, including the leadoff hitter for this inning. Coming up to bat now is the designated player, Lace Tungiano for the White Sox, hitting in the 5 spot. We probably see her pitching at some stage. Shot past the glove of Steamers, and New Zealand with their first hit and their first base runner. I just had to check my notes. It says infield, not pitcher. So in a team for the bat, Tongiano, and has New Zealand's first hit.
Oh, Steamers wasn't far off that.
I'm giving her a single. It was a hard hit shot, and we saw it on the replay that she had to reach for it as well, Steamers.
I gave it a hit too. I wasn't that cruel. It's what we call a THTH, too hot to handle.
Too hot to handle, right. Ivani Gibson, the hitter for New Zealand.
Interesting batting style on an inside pitch.
We have some great research on some of these White Sox players, but my laptop is not working. So we'll bring you more information on the White Sox players throughout the event. Just in this one here, my laptop and my notes are just need a break, I think. So that was Ivana Gibson. She'll go down swinging. Strikeout number 4 for Lamb. Joyce Lester to the rescue. Up to bat, Hayley Breakwell. US born out of California, Breakwell. And Kendra Lamb didn't let the hit phase her. She went straight back to work, picked up her 4th strikeout of the game.
Yeah, she looks in control. She's dominating, which is great to see. She does throw a lot of pitches in a game, though, Kendra.
This one pops over the top of the infield, advancing the runner. Tongiano to second. Breakwell, second hit of the inning for the White Sox, both to the left side. And the 4-year starter out of Idaho State University bloops one over the infield. Short timeout called by the Aussie Spirit, just to have a little chat, bringing up the catcher, Kerry Simeon.
It's a beautiful angle on that pitch. It's so good on the inside.
Buster inside, just missing and off the plate. Simeon has travelled with the White Sox before to the Canada Cup and New Zealand under 17 teams. That one's in there for a called strike. So Kendra Lamb, unfazed by those hits, going about her work, hasn't changed the plan.
Oh, it's looking good. You've got great mind in behind the plate. It's good to see Taylor's calling the game. Often you see in these days, you will see the catcher being told what to call by the coaches on the sideline. Today, Taylor's calling the pitches, which is great to see.
Yeah, we saw that in the USA series. The USA players, as good as they are, still relied on getting the pitch signal from the dugout. Strikeout looking. So Lamb will strike out the side. 3 strikeouts in that inning to tally 5 after 2. There were 2 hits for New Zealand in that inning.
It is interesting to see when you talked about the calls and seeing all of the other teams who do it, and USA definitely do it, but don't you think it's because they only have their players for 4 years? Like that's a maximum amount of time they're going to be in their team, so they actually decide, oh, we do all the scouting, so we're going to do the calling. But I do believe in some cases the pitcher used to call the coach off in the USA team. They had a swap signal to say, no, I don't really want to throw that.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting.
We do see the pitchers shake off occasionally if they don't get the call that they want, because the pitchers sometimes are in a groove and they want to throw their best pitch. There's assistant coach Ben Lucas having a chat to the on-deck Aussie hitter Sarah Rio.
Ben's the batting coach for the team, so he's in charge of obviously talking to the hitters about what's going on and what he's expecting of them.
All set to get underway here, leading off for Australia, number 33, Sarah Rio.
And Lucas, out of South Australia, coached the South Australian under-23 team for their maiden Joyce Lester Shield this year. December last year, but this year's Nationals, and then the Stars team, the Open Women's team, to a runner-up performance. So good to see him with his chance in the Aussie Spirit colours over the 3 series they've had so far, the Chinese Taipei series in November, then the USA Down Under series over New Year's, and now this series here for the Australia Cup. And he's also a new dad.
I know, and he looks like he loves it.
Rio on the move through the legs of Hokamo, and then it gets past the rest of the infield, and she'll arrive safely to first. Well, a little comedy of errors there. Was it kicked?
Yeah, Rio just getting some information from the assistant coach, Kim Tolanair.
Here's a look at the replay. Watch this one go through the legs of the pitcher and then kicks it.
I know, she
It
just
slipped out of the hand as the ball gets away. Nicole Conacher, back-to-back lefties for the Aussie team. Before we turn it back over to the top.
Conacher played some great games against Chinese Taipei earlier on in end of November.
Yeah, Eric had a good stat for her that he shared with us, that she got 3 hits in her last game against Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, she was impressive. You know, unfortunately she didn't get to play all the time at Nationals, but she's here showing us what she can do.
Puts the bun down, and the throw was right down the middle. The fielder had to make way as she takes the white base for the sacrifice bunt, advancing Rio to second. Let's have a look at the replay of how that went down.
We're going to go back to the top of the order, number 21, Tamika Whitefield.
third base got rid of that very, very quickly. It was quite a good bunt. Probably would have been better, pointed more towards the pitcher rather than third, but saying that, it's a sacrifice and the idea is to get the runner through to 2. She did her job.
By definition, sacrifice yourself to advance that runner for the top of the order. And here she is, Australia's lead-off, Tamika Whitefield.
As they get the numbers from the coach, they have a look on their armband to see what the signal is and what they're doing. Well, hit by a pitch ball.
Well, her job as a lead-off is to get on base. She's done that twice now, base on balls, and this time hit by pitch, just on the leg. She wore it as well, and she you could tell from her facial expression that didn't tickle.
And she's quite tough.
Just back on that first play, the bunt from Rio is credited as an error to the pitcher, went straight through the legs. Sacrifice bunt to Conacher to advance her, and now Tamika Whitefield aboard. So runners at 1 and 2 now for the Aussie Spirit, and Mai Giros, who went up left-handed her first time at bat, in the right-handed box this time.
One of the few players who can do that in Australia. Very few.
Carmo fires that one in, and Tanisha was New Zealand's Player and Pitcher of the Year in 2025. The 2 top honours of Softball New Zealand's annual awards. So this one's popped up into shallow right field. It takes a nasty spin, but Coach Porter holds up the runner at 3. As it was in the air, Joyce probably tagging up to be safe rather than sorry, and that loads the bases for the Spirit.
Yeah, that was a change-up, and she actually waited for it, which was nice, and just managed to get it out of the infield. It was well done, actually, by Maya Geros.
She'll be happy to get a hit in her Aussie Spirit debut. 3-hitter, Titsakronis. First pitch swing, hits a hard line drive to centre field, who has to dive to take it. Rio's tagging up at third and will cross the plate. An RBI sacrifice fly for Titsakronis.
Sacrifice fly? Sacrifice line drive? That's a beautiful shot by Titsakronis. That's a hard hit ball. A little bit further across from there, and that's, another 2-base hit.
So that lead-off error costly for New Zealand as that run crosses the plate. The third for the Spirit. Jenna Trim, who smashed the first pitch she saw to the fence and brought in the other 2 runs, 2 RBIs to her name. Runners at 1 and 2. They weren't able to advance on the sacrifice fly, but the important runner at third did. On the outside edge of the place, drives it to the right side and into the warning track. So we'll all reset. Runners go back to first and second. Not a bad piece of the ball, covering the outside edge.
Oh, a good way to get rid of it, to wait for the pitch that you want, which hopefully is the next one.
Two out here in the home half of the second inning. Runner and 2. And fouls this one off.
Somewhere in the middle. She needs it. Trim. She's looking good in the batting box. getting rid of those pitches she doesn't want.
Strikeout looking to end the threat. Hakamo gets her team out of that inning after an error in the first batter that eventually crossed the plate from a sacrifice fly from Taylor Titsakronis. Let's head down to Georgia Rajic, who has got someone with us, I think.
Well, I had a great chat with Janelle Berrant, the head selector for the Aussie Spirit, and she said the focus in the first innings was primarily around a strong performance, especially in pitching from Lamb, to minimise any wastages and opportunities for free bases and looking to challenge the hitters straight away. I think she definitely achieved that in the first innings. I asked as well after Australia's first time at bat if the aggressive start was also part of the plan, and Janelle said it was. Certainly try and put pressure on early, and it's great to see them going after pitches. So a really strong start in this game for the Aussie Spirit.
Beautiful, Georgia. Thank you so much, our host and sideline reporter. Great camera angles as well from our team here at Spacequake Sports covering the Australia Cup. Joyce, you've got the screen right in front of you so you can see all the replays. You've got some speeds coming in for the pitching.
I know, it's good. So we'll see. They are having some trouble actually getting reads because of the interference, probably with the cameras and so forth. But Janelle Barrett's down there, and she's giving us some speed, saying that Kenny is throwing 105 kilometres an hour and a change-up's around 76, which is pretty good.
She's doing very well with 5 strikeouts so far. Kendra, or Kenny, as Janelle has called her, and we'll kick things off here in the top of the third inning. Australia with a 3-0 lead. This is the 9-hitter out of Lower Hutt. Tanika Farizo flashes bunt, pulls out, but it's a called strike.
They'll be desperate to try and get their lead runner on, which is obviously why they've tried to put on a running bunt. Oh.
Hard hit shot to centre field. Sarah Rio comfortably takes the catch. That's the first out of the third inning. But New Zealand, after a bit of a shaky start, or the first 4 batters retired, have had 2 hits, and then that one was hit hard into the field as well. So it's starting to warm into the game, the White Sox.
Yes, hopefully they're not going to feel too comfortable. Kendra will need to really keep that ball on the edges of the plate.
Back to the top of the order, Erin Blackmore, and Kendra Lamb fires that one in there.
It was a beautiful pitch. Just missing the corner.
Pretty big on social media as well, Erin Blackmore. An active Instagram account.
She's a lovely girl. She's been around for such a long period of time, playing at all different levels. I'm positive she played for Queensland in underage tournaments. And she was always a very quick runner and a very consistent player.
Capable of highlight-worthy catches and powerful hitter as well. Hit a home run at the most recent Canada Cup that New Zealand attended. So look for fireworks from Blackmore throughout this series. Of course, we go 4 days. Each team will play each other once per day. So 2 games a day for each team, the other team being Japan, who are here. They're off in their little groups. There were some watching early. There were some out there warming up on behind this field. There were some warming up on the practice field. And we will see the Japanese team in action against New Zealand about 30 minutes or so after this game, after the completion of Australia versus New Zealand. Blackmore fouls that one off.
She looks a little bit frustrated, Erin does. And she's got a nice swing. She's just not getting the centre of that ball.
Grounded out to second base, her first time up to bat. 2-2 count. Goes upstairs and strikes out swinging. So Kendra Lamb has got 6 strikeouts from the first 10 batters.
That's great stats. Great to start the game with. Obviously, she must feel very confident. We haven't seen a lot of that rise ball, have we? And yet they've used it a few times on the K, so on the third strike.
Poppy Priddle, the lefty for New Zealand, and that triggers the shift from the Aussie defence, and Tamika Whitefield right up in line with the pitching circle, which is 43 feet from the bat. On the move, Priddle.
Yep, Coach Porter would have been watching and taking note on all these players. She does a lot of scouting, so she knows exactly where the players will have to stand to try and get the outs. Obviously, Priddle's pretty quick.
High speed on the base pass. Stood out in trials and rep competition, making her a threat offensively, and that came from the New Zealand Herald. So our research team doing some great work there at national rep events. She led stolen bases in their National Fast Pitch Championship and won a club championship with the Wellington Saints. The Wellington Saints, hello to anyone who's playing for Wellington Saints, a big name in New Zealand softball.
Well, it used to be the fact that New Zealand were such a quick team. If you go back to the days when Ed Dolich would coach them, he made them super fit and fast. Oh, that's a great pitch.
Yeah, that change up just dropping out of the zone before it cleared the strike zone, and it's going to enter and then exit through that strike zone. So perhaps it just fell off the table there.
Oh, it did. It was a beautiful pitch. It would have been really hard to hit that.
And then goes upstairs. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher. Still counts as a strike. And Kendra Lamb, another 2 strikeouts in that inning. Goes up to 7 for the game. As we have a look at the replay of that last strikeout. A rise ball. Joyce, 7 strikeouts already for Kendra Lamb. It's a 4-day tournament, but it's a long tournament because you're playing 2 games a day. Do you think we'll see some regular changes with the battery, or do you think we'll see Kendra pitch this whole game?
Wow, there's a good question. Well, I know they'll want to win this game, no matter what, because they're going to be playing to make the final. And I suppose you have to say that if they keep beating New Zealand, they're sure to make the final. So for me, I wouldn't be surprised if she stayed on in this particular game unless we got quite a few more runs. I mean, that's the way I'd play it, because Japan's going to be tough to beat for anyone. Even the best teams in the world are going to struggle against Japan. So if you keep beating New Zealand, you're in the grand final.
Absolutely. And all the games count as well, right, towards world ranking points?
Yes.
Here's Pippa Adkins to lead off the home half of the third. First pitch swinging is a dead ball. Unfazed. Pippa Adkins, as she'll get another look. She was first pitch swinging for her double back in the first. Change up. Straight into the glove of Lara Andrews and fires it across to Shaw Tate for the first out. And Joyce, that is the first time New Zealand have got the lead off.
Yes, it's great. She's made no mistake. That's just the sort of play that wins you games, isn't it? You just got to make those simple plays over and over again.
Kylie Steamers had a walk her first plate appearance. Chases that one upstairs for strike one.
She's keen. She does like that high pitch. They throw a lot of that change up on the second pitch. You know, if we were to go back through, you'd see it seems to be a little bit of a pattern that they have.
Yeah, it's no secret when the batter has a swing at a pitch or swing and a miss or swing and a foul. You like to come back with a change-up because you know that they're in the rhythm of swinging, trying to catch them out off their timing. Great play again from Andrews. Scoops it up. She had to break to the left.
Yeah, that was excellent again.
With 2 away, next in the battle will be number 26, Chelsea Robinson.
Right there in the hot corner. And then had to deal with that little damp spot. Is that from the sprinkler or hose, perhaps?
Maybe that's a sprinkler spot where they come up.
Back-to-back plays for Lara Andrews in the hot corner. Brings up Chelsea Robinson, who grounded out to third base to Lara Andrews, her first plate appearance.
Well, she had a great tournament with the bat at Nationals. Chelsea did. She was pretty exceptional. In fact, I'm going to say it's the best I've ever seen her hit. So I thought that maybe she might come in here and really hit up a storm. Still time yet.
Swinging a hot stick in the Softball SA Premier League.
Yes.
And with the Walkerville Cats, the reigning premiers. The leader of that team. Where's the famous number 8 worn by Linda Martin?
Well, there's a name from the past. Great shortstop.
A couple of hitting awards at Gillies Shield and represented Australia a number of times as well. Premier League Shield's named in her honour, the Linda Martin Shield.
Oh, is it? That's great.
Outside edge, nice spot. Hakamo is now in a bit of a groove. It's taken a couple of innings. She got her first strikeout last inning against Jenna Trim, and this inning has been in control. Green ball again to Andrews. All three hitters fall victim to Dr. Lara Andrews, like a surgeon at third base. 3 ground outs.
That was excellent. But I will say, and I agree with you, the pitcher has really changed and she seems to be hitting her groove well and truly. If you remember the wayward pitches in that first inning, she really seemed like she was not in control at all. So
yeah, missing the down and in, the edges, and that inning there she was sharp and hit them all.
Yes.
Well, we're after 3 complete innings, Joyce. We've got a 3-0 ball game, and Australia come out of the blocks firing, scoring 2 in the first, 1 in the second. New Zealand's arrested some of that momentum that they've had, haven't they? And it feels closer now when it seemed like it could potentially have been a blowout.
Yes, and it's really hard when you play at this level, and I think when you come out and I thought it was great because we played against the US and we hardly had any hits.
Yeah.
So it was a testament to the Australian team to come out in that first innings after some of that, the memory of what happened against US. And now they've come straight in and hit the ball. And hopefully they can continue on with that as the game goes on.
Jenna Trim at first base. Tamika Whitefield at second. Kylie Steamers at third. And Mai Juros at shortstop. That's the infield behind. Kendra Lamb and Taylor Titsakronis for the Aussie Spirit.
And Lara Andrews just happens to be in the action. Not only does she take the last three, but she's the next batter up.
Up to bat, Lara Andrews. Feeling the heat already here in Brisbane. Got the sleeves up. Kendra Lamb just missing the outside edge. She's been able to find the edge a couple of times. Kendra in her 7 strikeouts. And fires one in on a 3-0 count. So good discipline from Andrew. She knows the importance of getting a base runner, particularly a lead-off base runner, and watches that one. Some hitters give themselves a green light, don't they, on a 3-0?
Well, most of the time it's going to be pretty big.
Hard hit ball deep out to left field. Pippa Adkins gets under it and takes a good catch. She's looked good off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. She still has, even though she starts with that open stance, she still steps, so it's open. A lot of those players who use that open stance actually step to be straight, but she's not quite the same as that.
Yeah, hard hit ball brings up Shaw Tate. And we mentioned that Shaw Tate is the first family to be a 3rd generation player. She is the first 3rd generation player for the White Sox.
Well, her face looks very much like a Shaw. You know, and they were renowned for their hitting. Both Kiri and her mum, Naomi, were both renowned for being fabulous hitters.
Well, not only did her mum and grandmother play for New Zealand, so did her dad. He played for the Black Sox, and her siblings have also represented New Zealand in softball as well. So a softball family throughout the generations. Shaw Tate, who also played some college softball out of East Stroudsburg in Pennsylvania. That's just bunt.
It's a beautiful pitch. Absolutely beautiful.
Two on Tate Shaw. Shaw Tate. Get it right. This one on the outside, chopped to the ground. And nice play from Jenna Trim with Tamika Whitefield covering first base for the second out.
Yeah, they're looking good. You know, Australia look calm and confident, which is great.
They're just missing there, well, not missing, just on the end of the bat. Chopper for first base player, Jenna Trim for the second out. On the replay, here is Lace Tongano, who had New Zealand's first hit of the game.
So I really like the fact that when you're pitching and catching, you know, that ball, you don't want it coming parallel to the ends of the plate, like that last pitch. Candra's got that beautiful angle on the pitch that's just hitting that plate in the corner.
Tongiano late started to softball at 14 years of age and is being recognised as one of the top emerging talents in New Zealand softball.
Well, she's strong. She can hit the ball.
But well covered by Tamika Whitefield. 2 bounces on the backhand side, but comfortably takes it, makes the play over to first for the third out. Another 1, 2, 3 innings, 7 retired in a row. But the good news for New Zealand in that inning, no strikeouts as Kendra Lamb keeps her tally at 7, and the score remains 3-0.
Yeah, they're great stats by Kendra Lamb. You know, even though she's had those 2 hits against her, I'm going to throw in, I know that one of her aims is to throw strikes early in the count. And, you know, she's going to be working at trying not to throw any base on balls. In games beforehand, she has actually had problems with that. So she's really working hard on attacking the batter a lot more. Obviously, it's going very well for her in this game. She's doing a fabulous job. So it brings up to Sarah Rio, and she is such a personality of the game. Not only is she a fast and a confident outfielder, is she's got a great personality and she's really got drive and confidence. You can almost see it in the way she plays.
Called strike, catching the outside edge. Reach from an error from Hukamo, her first time up, which led off the second inning, and she eventually got around all the bases scored on a sacrifice fly from Titsakronis. That change-up is now working. Yes. Second pitch.
Yes, in the first innings that would have hit the batter then, but yeah, that was an amazing pitch.
Definitely got a handle on the ball now. Hukamo for the White Sox. Both teams with a pretty deep bench as well. No changes made so far in the game. But at the halfway mark, which we're at, might see some coaches ring the change. Oh, that foul ball, I thought it went into the ground, but it was chopped straight into the glove of Simeon for a strikeout. So second strikeout of the game for Hukamo, and now she's rolling.
She is. She's looking so much better than she did at the start of the game. So sacrifice last turn up at bat for Nicole Conacher. Yes.
Play for Rizzo at second, and Conacher beats it out.
Yeah.
Brilliant softball all round.
That's what you want to see, don't you? Like, Conacher's quick. So the fact that, I mean, second base did a great job diving to stop that ball even. There was no way she was going to get Conacher out. She's too quick.
There's a look on the replay. Dives up the backhand side, right back up the middle. Gets a throw off her back, but not in time.
I know, absolutely amazing. Turned herself inside out to try and make that out.
Brilliant softball and an infield single. A timeout called perhaps by New Zealand, Joyce. They're looking towards the dugout, maybe third time through the lineup. Might be looking at a pitching change.
I think you might be right.
What number have we got? No, 10
No.
still in the game. Change going.
Number 4 coming in to second base.
Oh, she must have hurt herself making that out.
Yep. Maybe a dive up the middle, blood roll maybe to clean her up, but we'll keep our eye out on that. Number 4 coming in. Marama Makia has come in at second base. There she is. That's not Tamika. It's Makia for New Zealand. That's Tamika. Up to bat for Aussie Spirit. And Conacher is quick, but she's thrown out from a hose from behind the plate. Carrie Simeon retires Conacher. What a great play. And as a catcher, Joyce, you can appreciate this.
It's hard to make outs at second. You have to have it. Everything's so perfect.
Off the knees, a tag on the helmet. Nice play from Breakwell.
Beautiful throw.
And that's 2 out. Some great defense from the White Sox on show in this inning. Farizo with that diving play. She's come out of the game, replaced by Makia, and then a sharp throw over from the catcher, Kerry Simeon. So, and the pitcher as well, rolling Hakamo now for New Zealand. It feels like we've got a game on our hands.
Yes, it's a very different game now.
Hard hit shot.
Great stop.
Andrews at third yet again. She's got a half a dozen plays at third base in the hot corner. She knocks that one down. She recovers, fires it across to Shaw Tate at first. Here's a look at the replay.
She throws from the knees, which is just fantastic. Any way you can get it there, you get it there. And she's really done the job.
Well, we have our sideline reporter, Georgia Rajic, ready to go, chatting to Kylie Dalton, the New Zealand team manager.
That's right. I had a bit of a quick chat with Kylie just before. They're enjoying the conditions here in Queensland. Definitely a bit warmer than it is back home. They said they're adjusting the humidity well, and they actually played a warm-up game against the Queensland team on Tuesday, and they won 8-7. But just quickly on that last little bit of action, Fariso just was having her blood on her shoulder on her elbow attended to, seemingly gone back into the dugout with the rest of the New Zealand team not too long after.
Thanks, Georgia. And for those that don't know, you can exit the game with the blood rule to get it cleaned up, not being a substitution. So Makia, if she does stay in the game, it's 30 minutes. I can't remember the actual timing behind it, but she can be. It can be considered a replacement or a substitution after a certain amount of time. So
yes, but the other girl can come back on, and it's not counted as the time of her taking the field. So Fariso can come back on easily, and Marama's not even counted as being on the field.
Brilliant, Georgia. Thank you, Georgia Rajic, on the sideline for our broadcast team. And, well, if you are familiar with Spacequake Sports broadcasting, not only with softball, but perhaps baseball or ice hockey, you will know the name Eric Bolner. He will be commentating the play-by-play for the next game, and he's got a great special guest as well.
Oh, yes.
Justine Smethurst.
Juzzy, well, it'll be interesting to see Juzzy. I mean, she played so much for Australia and an ace pitcher, and also played in Japan for a while. So she's a great player from the past. It'll be great to hear her thoughts.
Yeah, we'll welcome our first pitcher to the broadcast. Ivana Gibson, the hitter for New Zealand. As Kendra Lamb continues her work, she's in her 5th inning now. 7 strikeouts, has allowed just the 2 hits. They are the only 2 base runners allowed for New Zealand so far. Beautiful spot on the outside edge. Down and away, one of the toughest pitches to hit.
It is, but if you can hit it, it's the best place to hit on the field, right field. I think once upon they used to call it the AMV, the area of most vulnerability. Perfect place to hit.
Full count. Here's the payoff. Fouls it off to stay alive. And you're right, Joyce. I've never heard of the AMV, but I do know it's also called the centre right alley. If you can hit the ball into that gap, centre field's normally fielding a little bit to the left side of second base.
Yep.
Extra bases every time with that right fielder that fields in a bit shallower as well.
Not many people can actually hit opposite field, which is interesting. I think it's some part of the game that needs to be worked on a bit more. Once upon a time, it was very much so. I'm going to say it's AMD comes from a baseball coach from a long time ago. But certainly when you read up on what you were supposed to do, that was the aim. Hit behind your runner.
Change up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice pitch. Fouled off, stays alive. So good hitting from Gibson. And just more on that is when you hear a coach, they might use some jargon. Keep your head over the ball, hold your hands back, let the ball travel. That's what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to get the batter to let the ball travel into the hitting zone so you can hit that ball up the middle or opposite field.
Yes, absolutely.
Just like that.
Just not bad, that one.
That one's just gone foul.
When you watch someone like Stacey Porter hit, she does it so well on that outside pitch. In most cases, she doesn't even follow through. She just bangs it because she's strong. And, it says a lot for players of just throwing your hand straight out at that ball.
She gets a lot on the outside as well because of the open stance and the power that she has and the reputation of hitting the ball, long ball. So I'm not surprised she works on that. Great battle right here. We've got a full count and Gibson's fouled off the last few. At least 8 pitches in this at-bat. Let's say it's 8. Pitch number 9 coming. Fouls that one off.
Sticking with that outside pitch.
We'll mention a good battle because a lead-off on for New Zealand will just be that little extra bit of a spark. They've been able to stop the Australian momentum and their scoring. Now they need to apply that offensive pressure themselves.
Went back on the inside in the hope and a change-up.
Well, great battle from those two, Lamb and Gibson. Gibson aboard, and that is only the first walk allowed from the Aussie Spirit so far in this game.
Yeah, she pitched really well to that hitter. Very well indeed.
Gibson was named Stop New Zealand's Emerging Player of the Year in 2025. Timeout called, so the battery just want to have a bit of a chat because Breakwell hit that single in the second inning.
Yes, there's the tough call for the coach. Do you bunt the run around the last time she had a hit, or do you hit her in this situation?
Well, they're chasing 3, so, they could either be looking at it 2 different ways, pegging it back 1 run at a time or letting one of your good hitters swing away and hope to get multiple.
She didn't come around at all on that pitch. It's a hard one because when you haven't really bunted and haven't really had any runners on base, do you know how Australia's going to react to, a bunt situation when they haven't really had one before? It could actually put pressure on them.
Well, we've got Jenna Trim at first, who's down the line a fair bit, so quite different to when the lefty slapper was up and Tamika Whitefield, second base player, was close in off the bat. But she's fairly deep, Whitefield. That's leaving first base open.
Yes.
big lead off. Actually, she takes off on the pitch for the stolen base. Thrown out. Taylor Titsakronis with a great throw over. Let's have a look at the replay. She's got a good jump at second, Gibson.
Look, that is fantastic too by Geros. She got that on the other side of the base and was quite good at getting that runner out, getting the ball around. That was a good out.
You got your answer eventually, Joyce, in that they weren't looking at short game. They were looking at the speed game. Trying to steal bases instead of bump them around. So now Breakwell with the job to get on base herself here. And back-to-back walks. So after going 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, giving up just 2 hits. Back-to-back walks for Lamb, bringing up the lefty Kerry Simeon. Timeout called for New Zealand, number 4 coming in. This is Marquia, who came in for the blood rule for Farizo at second when she made that diving play up the middle. And now she is being substituted into the game for Kerry Simeon.
Change here for New Zealand coming into bat is number 4.
2 walks, but great defensive play from the Aussie Spirit and Taylor Titsakronis, my Duros, partnering up there to get the runner stealing, and Ali Breakwell aboard from a walk.
And it's good to see the coaches are actually doing this, because you would say in the back of their mind they're testing the other team. This first game of knowing exactly what the other team can do and what they can't do for games to come in this tournament.
Actually, Georgia has let us know that it was Marquia who came in for the blood rule, was swinging the bat, warming up just last inning as she was called into play. So this is a planned move here from the New Zealand White Sox. Catches the outside edges. Marquia is on the move. Marama Marquia has played some Div 1 softball out of Eastern Illinois and is a police constable. She just graduated. Batter on the move, you'd say that they're going to stay on the outside edge.
Oh, nice pitch.
Again, down and away to go ahead of the count on Marquia out of Hutt Valley, one of the strong associations in New Zealand softball.
She almost went on that.
Yeah, looked to be protecting more than swinging on that one.
Yeah.
Just getting away from Titsakronis and allowing the runner up to second base. So 3 bases in this inning is the story for the Aussie Spirit. 2 walks, and this one getting away from Titsakronis, so pass ball.
Yes, that was unfortunate for her.
Felt like in the USA series that the US team made Australia pay for every free base they gave.
Yeah, Australia are looking so much better since then.
Nice pitching from Lamb, picks up her 8th strikeout of the game, and Marquia will go down swinging. And this is player number 11, so we might have 2 changes at once here, or I've written down the wrong number. As Danica Farizo comes back to the plate. She is the batter due up. Yeah, I've got 11. I've got 12 as well, but it's uniform 11. Might be the blood shirt. Great catch at third base from Kylie Steamers. That's probably what it is, Joyce, is that number 12 has changed uniforms due to the blood rule and thrown us all off. And Danica Farizo back in the game, hits a line drive to the backhand side of Kylie Steamers.
That was a great little dive from Kylie Steamers to be able to pick that up just before it hits the ground. You know, it's interesting to watch that she's actually often a first base, but at the moment, every now and then you see her on third. You know, that girl is capable of stopping almost any ball. I mean, she's a good hitter. You know, she probably just needs to be more consistent with it. That's a good example of what Kylie Steamers can do.
Brilliant athleticism, and playing in either of the corners in softball is a tough job. Being able to play both is something else. And thanks to Georgia as well, confirming that they have changed numbers due to the blood rule. And Danica Farizo comes back into the game wearing the number 11.
Number 22, Maya Juras.
Maya Giros had her first hit in her debut game earlier this game. Single out to right field. Timeout has been called.
So in the right-handed box again this time. I suppose you would after you got to hit the last time in the right-handed box.
Yep, in the first inning came up left-handed. Also a re-entry back into the game as well. Kerry Simeon has come back in. So Markia is out of the game, her pinch hit. Successful Gilly Shield campaign. Hard hit shot. Second hit of the game out to the right side. Gibson tried to fire a cheeky 9-3, but Giros beats that one out.
Yeah, she's too quick. Look, it's great to see she's come back to the game. She was a young player playing for New South Wales and played second base. And I remember watching her and thinking, wow, this girl looks really, really good. She's a talent of the future. But for one reason or another, she left the game for a couple of years. I think she went overseas and she's come back, and she's really putting her hand up at the moment.
Tsitsikoronis, the batter in the box. Yeah, a bit of a sad story behind her time off. A friend with an illness, and she wanted to support her friend, battle through that. So back in the Aussie colours, still got the fire and the drive to represent her country, and she's been rewarded here with selection and then 2 hits.
Yeah, fantastic effort and a sacrifice. So that's 2 from 2 in your first game for Australia. Not bad.
It was got the lead runner on that sacrifice.
Oh, they did too. They did too.
But great contribution, Joyce. I know what you're trying to say. As Tsitsikoronis watches that one on the outside edge and still waiting on her pitch, because when she gets it, they stay hit.
Oh, that wasn't an S on mine. It was the 2 scored runs that I'd put in.
Fouls it up, and that change up is starting to become a weapon for Hokamo, for the White Sox. 2025 MVP and pitching award in the Softball New Zealand Awards. So both countries starting with their aces in this game, you'd say, Joyce.
Oh, yes. And look, I think Canada started really well. The New Zealand pitcher didn't, but she's really, upped her game.
Yeah, and for a lot of these New Zealand players, when they come to play in Australia, it's generally been at the Blacktown Stadium in Sydney, right? The Olympic Stadium. So, for those tours around the Australia Pacific Cups and the Summer Slams that they've played in, this is the first time I've been to Downy Park. Might be the first time some of these are played here as well. So acclimatising as well to the Brisbane weather and these conditions. Ground ball to second. That might have been a bit of a brain fade. It's a good play to make if it's a hard hit shot, but
that wasn't
short Tate. Yeah, it wasn't
not close.
It was a change up, so it wasn't a hard hit shot. She picked it up. Giros was on the move and able to beat it out, and well done from Breakwell to stop that one from going into the outfield. So 2 runners aboard now for Australia on that fielder's choice for Taylor Tsitsakonis.
Well left by Jenna Trim.
I mean, probably the right play, but not the percentage. If you're wanting the lead runner, you've got to make that play, but it all didn't go right to be able to pull it off. And now instead of 1 out.
Yeah, the fact that Jaros was the runner, and she's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And as soon as she turned to throw, I thought, you're never going to get her. That's when you rely on your players around you to give that call.
Here's Jenna Trim.
She's throwing very tight to Trim.
And finds the strike zone there, so a 3-0 count goes to 3-1. Trim a strikeout. Victim Hurl last time up to bat, but her first time up to bat smashed it up the middle. 2 RBIs and a double. Hard hit shot, foul down the left side. You know it's foul because Andrews couldn't get a glove to it. She has been rock solid there in the hot corner.
She certainly has.
Eight plays.
Oh, really?
At third base. She was a part of the trap play, and then 7 other plays at third base for Andrews in this game as Trim fouls that one off. Third time through the lineup for the Aussie Spirit here in the home half of the 5th inning. New Zealand have really bounced back, stemmed the flow of runs. Trim will get a walk, and out comes the New Zealand coach just to have a word. Couldn't see the bullpen from here to see if there was any New Zealand pitchers warming up. Well, Joyce,
I haven't seen. I did see the Australian girls warming up, but I think they're just going to keep going. I really do, because both players playing. Kandra's playing great, and Tanisha really is just improving as she goes on. She's just had a falter in the beginning of this innings. Unfortunately, loaded bases, none out.
Yeah, it's a single to Giros, a fielder's choice for Tsitsakonis, and now Jenna Trim aboard from a walk. So they're in a jam here. The White Sox have been great over the last 3 innings.
Pippa Atkins, a double and a 5-3.
Missing down and away. So just when we thought that Tanisha was switched on and back in, getting the White Sox back in this game, she's been a little loose on these last couple of batters as Adkins drives this hard to the left side. Tagging up at third is Giros, and I wonder if that's on the transition, Joyce. We'll have a look. The sacrifice fly for Pippa Atkins. She's standing at first like that was dropped.
Yeah, muffed. It was a muff fly.
No control.
Definitely, yeah.
Not in the transition. So
No, it's a definite muff fly. I wrote it straight down. I was like, she must have looked away.
Priddle, it is the left fielder for New Zealand, as Craig Wallace for the White Sox comes out to have a chat with the umpire who made the call, just checking if that was in transition. She's going to ask to see if either of the umpires had a better view, but we saw on the replay that she took her eye off it way too early, and it wasn't in transition. It was as she was attempting to complete the catch. So if we say a drop fly ball, but still an RBI to Pippa Adkins, that was going to be a sacrifice fly as Myjira scored on that out.
It'd just be a red run.
You'd still say red, even though it was a sacrifice? It would have been a sacrifice?
Oh, do you think she would have run on that? It wasn't really that deep.
Well, she was going. She wasn't looking for the catch. She was just looking for the first touch. And all three runners will stay put.
So you get to see that. I've got the screen in front of me where you can see the field. So I missed those little bits. Oh,
is that better?
I keep wanting to look around it, but that's all good.
All right, Pippa Adkins. We're going to give her an RBI. We'll check the official score on iScore and keep you updated. But up to bat now was Kylie Steamers.
Steamers had a walk first time at bat and then a hard hit ball to third base. That's a nice swing by Kylie Steamers. Again, loaded bases, none out.
Foul ball to the right side from Steamers. Okay, official score has come through. Pippa Adkins, it's a sacrifice fly, but reaches safely due to an error from the left fielder. So she's credited with the sacrifice, the RBI, and reaches on an error. Steamers swings hard, fouls it off. And Australia have scored their fourth on that sacrifice fly from Adkins. RBIs in this game, 2 to Trim, 1 to Titsakronis and 1 to Adkins.
I mean, the fact that she, as you said, she was leaving on that, and maybe that's exactly what the left fielder was looking at. She was watching that runner leaving instead of watching the ball in a glove before she threw it.
Had the second play in her mind before she completed the first one. As it was costly because there's none out. There's still loaded bases. One run has scored already in this inning, and your one clean swing, and we could see the end of the ball game right here.
Well, that'd be lovely. Not really, but on
for the Aussie fans.
For the Aussie fans, yes.
Change up. Nice pitch from Hakamo. Titsakronis, the runner, on third. Jenna Trim on second. Pippa Adkins on first. Adkins representing the game-ending run due to a run rule. We might go into that in a moment. Steamers, bat on ball, double play attempt.
Oh,
big
yes.
punch out at third base. So a great play at two by Farizo for the White Sox. Sharp reaction. She was fielding inside the line. Completes the catch and fires it across to that player again, Lara Andrews. Let's have a look on the replay. Dives to the backhand side, up and off a step. Great stretch from Andrews at third in the play again for a double play.
Very close. Just out on third base, Taylor Titz-Cronus. But what a beautiful hit.
Yeah, great piece of the ball, but that also ends the threat, well, temporarily for a run rule win, as Chelsea Robinson, the batter in the box, represents the game-ending run. So still one swing away, but less likely with runners at 1 and 2 rather than at loaded bases. And there she is again, Lara Andrews. Make it 10. 10 plays defensively for Lara Andrews in this game will retire the threat and the bottom of the 5th inning for the Aussie Spirit. Chelsea Robinson grounds out to Andrews for the 3rd time in the game.
I know that should give you a message about hitting, shouldn't it? If everyone's always hitting the ball at third base, that you need to actually change something up. And we've got a pitching change, hopefully.
Yeah, there's some excitement and a buzz around the Aussie Spirit camp right now as the teenage sensation comes in and steps on the stripe to go through her 5 warm-up pitches. Arwen Kavanagh.
Yeah.
What an under-18 tournament she had. She won the pitching award, the MVP award, player of the final award, made the all-tournament team as the pitcher, and also in December played for the Aussie under-18 development team, and she pitched the win against the eventual winners, South Australia, in the opening game of the tournament. She has had a massive 6-7 weeks.
Look, even saying that all of that, I remember her going to a camp in Canberra and they did a whole lot of testing. And very interesting that Arwen, I think she was 16 at the time, she ended up having one of the best grips of all the athletes. She's quick, she's strong, fast. She's got everything going for her, and she's a pitcher that hits. She's got the lot.
You mentioned the grip. Is that the grip strength test?
Grip
is that
strength
right?
test, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Brooke Penfold, Brooke Wilkins had an amazing grip strength.
A lot of pitchers do. But as a young girl, often you don't see this as much. But first time for Australia Open, Arwen Kavanagh.
3rd debutante in this game for the Aussie Spirit. Maya Giros, Chelsea Robinson, and now Arwen Kavanagh. What'd you see?
It's just laughing because Titz-Cronus has obviously told her to take a deep breath, and she did the deep breath thing, and then they ran off onto the field. So obviously she's a little bit nervous. Who wouldn't be?
For her first
I got
pitch.
goosebumps.
Yeah, in the Spirit colours, just down and away. Let's acknowledge Kendra Lamb, the starting pitcher. 5 innings of work, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks and 2 hits, no runs against. So great performance and good start from Kendra Lamb. Here is Arwen Kavanagh. Pitching her first strike for the Aussie Spirit, wearing the number 72 jersey.
Great to see that we have young players like Arwen having a go in the Aussie team. Great change-up. She's really been working hard and she's really improved her drop ball and her change-up. It's great to see her develop.
Back to the top of the order. The game's original leadoff hitter is Erin Blackmore for the New Zealand White Sox. She had to be the first player to see Kendra Lamb. Now she's got to be the first player to see Arwen Kavanagh. Oh, foul ball. Just off the glove of Steamers in foul ball territory. 2-2 now. have a look how close that was. And at the end of the day, it's just a strike. Just jams her a little bit, and a shallow pop-up for Jenna Trim. Mops it up nicely. And that will be a sigh of relief for the teenager Kavanagh with her first out.
It will be, and it was off a great pitch. Definitely jams Erin Blackmore. Easily taken by the first base Jenna Trim. Just what you want to see too, coming in, putting that first strike in early. Nice drop ball. Just sneaks under the bat of Priddle.
Well, the speedster Priddle sees second base player Tamika Whitefield come up again close to the bat. He's struck out twice, Priddle, so far, so we haven't seen if that defensive shift works yet, but it works effectively because it's perhaps putting a thought in the back of the mind of the hitter. Can't hit it for second, they're so close.
Well, that's right. If they stand back in the usual spots, they think they've got, they're more confident. So much pressure put on them when they're like that, they have to really make that ball be put in the correct position to be able to get safe on first.
Hard swing and a miss. Goes down swinging for the third time in this game, and Arwen Kavanagh has her first strikeout.
Beautiful, and there's that great drop ball I was talking about. It is such a great pitch.
Seen a few weapons already, tricks in the bag of Arwen Kavanagh. She'll now face Lara Andrews, who has been in the play so often you can't keep her out of it. It's her third time up to bat after starring defensively for the White Sox team so far, trying to be the spark offensively.
Well, Taylor Chitz-Crone is trying to put her in a place by calling a change-up first pitch. That's what we like to see. Aggressive defense, sorry.
Off the end of the bat into foul territory, and Kavanagh ahead of the count here on the veteran White Sox player Lara Andrews. Another foul ball. A long-time captain of this team and played over 100 international game for the White Sox. Was the first New Zealand woman to play professionally in the USA Pro League, spending 2 seasons with the Pennsylvania Rebellion.
Kavanagh's looking good. She's ahead in the count. The first innings is looking fantastic.
Hard hit shot. That one's in fair territory. Andrews has to get on her bike, but a great defensive play from Kylie Stevens at third base. She was fielding behind the base, so she had to contend with it. Makes a clean backhand play, firing it across to retire the side, and a 1-2-3 inning for teenage sensation Arwen Kavanagh. And we're going to cross over to Georgia. She's got an excited mum with her right now.
Well, that's exactly right, James. I'm here with probably the proudest person in the entire stadium here at Downy Park, Arwen Kavanagh's mum, Charisse. Charisse, it's been a great month so far for Arwen. She did amazing at the Under-18s Championships just last week, cleaned up in pretty much all the awards possible, MVP, Best Picture, Player of the Grand Final, and now here she is making her senior debut for the Aussie Spirit, and still a teenager. You must be immensely proud.
Oh, yeah, look, no words, but, you know, this has always been a dream of hers. We thought it would come one day, just not this soon, you know, and for her to be out there, it's just amazing, yeah.
It certainly feels this way, and I know you guys are from Newcastle. I have to ask questions. You drive up to this weekend?
We did. We got back from 18s on Monday night. I worked 2 days, and we jumped in the car at 6 o'clock last night, and we got here at 2 o'clock this morning, so, yeah, we drove up, definitely.
You would think that with that amount of time, there's no time for nerves, because she's just had to go back to back to back, and, you know, registered her first strikeout in her first innings too. Great to see.
Thank you. Yeah, look, she's got an amazing team around her. Luckily, she's had a bit of experience with some of the girls that are in there from New South Wales, and like that, we know they've got her back. And she's even told us that on FaceTime the last few nights. So you know, she's comfortable. Definitely nervous, but she's got a great support group in there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us here on the broadcast race. Back to you, James.
Thanks, Georgia, and thanks to Arwen's mum. As we've seen the first out, Sarah Ria grounded out back to Tanisha Hakamo, who's looks like she's going to go the distance in this game. 4-run lead to the Aussies and in the bottom of the 6th. So unless New Zealand can score 4 or more next inning, as this one's grounded back to Hakamo for out number 2. She's fielded both ground balls so far in this inning, and New Zealand still need 4 runs in their next batting inning to at least keep this game going.
Yes, and hopefully, look, I think Arwen came on and looked just so amazing. It just seems hard to see them doing that, you know, especially when she actually went against them in the top of their lineup.
Yeah, that's right. It's not like she came in and faced batters 7, 8, 9. No disrespect, of course, to our 7, 8, 9 batters today, but you know, the 1, 2, 3 hitters are normally your best hitters in the lineup, and she was able to retire them 1, 2, 3. Speaking of leadoffs, here's the leadoff for the Aussie Spirit, Tamika Whitefield. A couple of on bases already in this game. Walk and a hit by pitch.
She wanted that one.
Yeah, looking to hit.
Well, 5 years ago, she would have swung at that one. So it's good to see her patient in the box.
That one's a called strike, and a patient at bat has gone full. Here's the payoff.
Every turn with her, she seems so patient, and every turn's been a great turn at bat.
Really made the New Zealand battery work to get her out, which they were only able to do once in her 4 times to the plate. Here's Maya Duros, who has also made the defence work. She's got 2 hits so far as pick-off attempt. We saw the second base player take off on the pitch. It'd be interesting to see if there's any replay of that one, because if Juris had just got a piece on the ball, it was a wide open field. All good. Yeah, not often you see that, is it? It's a planned pick-off back to first.
Only when there's a pitch out.
Yeah.
Well, it's something that's been in the game for a long period of time, but for some reason hasn't been used over the last few years, and it's now seeing it again.
Great shot here from the team at Space Quake Sports.
Yep,
she was on the move before the pitch was released, so the pitch had to be way out of the zone.
It was, but it wasn't high. Normally a pitch out is a higher pitch, so it's easier for the catcher to throw to get a quick release, but that was off the plate, but still very low. Perhaps would have made it slower for the catcher.
Perhaps the point I was thinking is that you don't often see the second base break. Normally it's straight back to the fielder who's protecting the bases. Lara Andrews one more time makes a terrific out and a terrific play. Here's a stat for you, Joyce. Every batter in the Australian lineup has been retired by Lara Andrews with the exception of Sarah Rio. She has been all over the New Zealand defence, Lara Andrews, in this game. Here's another look at Giros grounding out. Gobbles it up, fires it across. Great game defensively from Lara Andrews.
Very safe hands. You know, it's good to see. It's what all players should be doing at this level. How many balls can you hit to the third base in a game? It's outrageous. But saying that, the pitch out is actually a great move to be able to keep players honest.
Sorry, Joyce, I am listening, but I'm also counting how many plays Lara Andrews has had. There's just too many to count by looking. I have to count them up. 11 defensive plays out of 18 outs.
I know, that's crazy. That rarely happens.
One of them was a trap play, so she was just involved in that play, so didn't make she got an assist on that one, but lots of contributions from the hot corner from Lara Andrews. As we go to the top of the 7th inning, it is the last inning of regulation softball, and New Zealand have some work to do. They've been blanked so far in the first 6. They need to score 4 to make Australia bat again. 5 to take the lead. And up to bats their number 4 hitter, Denver Shaw Tate.
Great pitch to start from Kavanagh. She looks like she's used to this. She doesn't look nervous. She looks like she's right in the zone.
Ground ball straight back to Kavanagh for the first out. 4 up and 4 down for that teenager.
She was a late entry into the team, with having one of our pitchers pulled out at the last minute due to work commitments. So it was great to see Arwen getting her chance in the Australian Open team. She just keeps getting better and better. That was another lovely pitch from Kavanagh. Umpire helping a little bit on that one so that Titsikronis didn't have to go all the way back to pick up the ball. New Zealand must score 4 runs in this innings to be able to keep the game alive.
Lace Tungiano, the hitter for New Zealand, patient in the box, gets aboard. So not a perfect start for Arwen Kavanagh, but I'm sure it won't matter because she's pitched a gem to this point. That walks the New Zealand hitter on board for the second time. Lace with a hit earlier in the game and a base on balls. Timeout being called, and head coach Kerry Porter coming out to have a chat as New Zealand bring in Alyssa Laurie to pinch run for Tungiano.
Well, good time to stop the game anyway, considering you've got a young pitcher on the mound. Just thrown her first walk, saying that 4 outs in a row. She's really looks good.
Yeah, just 2 outs away, the Aussie Spirit, from a win here in the first game of the Australia Cup. Coming up next, in about an hour's time, is New Zealand versus Japan, game 2 of this 4-day series. There's 3 games a day. Number 6 up to bat is a pinch hitter. This is Taryn Broomhead Lamalu.
That's a big swing.
Yeah, a known power hitter.
Yeah.
Broomhead Lamalu. Her mum has played. She's a player that's come through the development pathway of the New Zealand juniors. Part of the National Battery program. So double change for the White Sox. Broomhead Lamalu and Laurie, who's the runner on one in New Zealand. Trying to get a spark. Trying to break that duck egg and put a run on the board. Hard hit shot to the right side.
Yep.
Catch taken by Nicole Conacher at right field, and not a bad piece of the ball, but I don't think she got it all, Joyce.
No, she didn't. We'll see it here again, but she's certainly swings the bat hard. You know, you can see that she's good at her job, but an easy catch really in right field to Conacher, which leaves a runner on one. Does he take the chance and steal her with 2 out? Most aggressive coaches would.
Yeah, chasing for taking that force off as well just makes that final out harder to make for Team Australia. As Hayley Breakwell comes to the plate, she's her 3rd time. She's been on both times so far. A hit and a walk, and there you go, Joyce. Your runner will stand on 2 now. For probably New Zealand's best offensive player in this game so far. Tungiano also has been on twice with a single and a walk.
Yes.
Breakwell ahead of the count 0-2 with that runner in scoring position, and the teenage sensation Arwen Kavanagh throwing for Australia. It misses the spot, doesn't miss the umpire. Gary Franklin blocks that one for Titsakronis and nearly fires a shot down the third base line. But now, for the first time in the game, New Zealand has a runner on 3.
So that's the second one Kerry's copped. Just the same. Calling time again, trying to settle Kavanagh down. He's trying to keep her as calm as possible, being her first game. But she's doing a great job.
Yeah, 3-0 count as well for New Zealand's best hitter in this game. She can afford to watch a couple, you'd think. Just to add a little bit more pressure, perhaps. She decides to swing. Great play at shortstop from Maya Geros to end the game. The Aussie Spirit win game 1 of the Australia Cup.
The coach, KP, will be so happy about that. First game in, coming back off that US series where everyone was feeling pretty down. They knew they had a lot of work to do to stay back, and they've come back strong as.
There's a look on the replay. Maya Geros. The ball was hit pretty well, wasn't it?
Yes, very well. Geros makes a great fielding and a good throw over to first to retire her. That's a great game to start. Australia have done well.
Yeah, the Aussies debuted 3 players. They showed some aggressive intent early on in the game. 3 hits in 3 pitches to Titsakronis, Trim and Adkins. Affected the first 2 runs of the game. They made consolation runs in the second and the 5th innings, Australia, to tally 4. But they've blanked the White Sox 4 runs to 0. 5 innings of work from Kendra Lamb, 8 strikeouts, 2 hits, 2 walks, no runs, and the teenage sensation comes in for the last 2 innings. And blanks New Zealand, although they did get a runner around a third, only allowed 1 base runner, Arwen Kavanagh. And Georgia Ragic is down on field with the starting pitcher, Kendra Lamb.
Yes, that's right. I'm here with Kendra Lamb. Great work from you today. 8 strikeouts. How'd that feel to get the win on the board?
I mean, it's always a good job when we come out and we get a win early on in this round game series that we're playing. So really proud of the defense and the offense behind me. Gave me a lot of room to be a lot more comfortable on the mound and, yeah, have a good outing.
I spoke a little bit to the head of selections, Janelle Bernhardt, pre-game about, one of the focuses really early on was not making sure there was any, there was to minimise opportunities for New Zealand to get on base and really have any big hits. Felt like that was pretty much well done by you, especially at the start of the game. How does it feel to, reach those goals in game?
I mean, anytime you reach a goal like that, it's always a huge positive and it just gives us a new place to build on. I think us trying to limit how many opportunities they have, they're a good team. If we let them open the door, they're going to come in. So, yeah, I did a really good job with that.
I just want to ask a little bit about the relief pitcher at the end. Arwen Kavanagh, wonderful story, of course. Had a brilliant under-18 tournament last week. Pretty much won every possible thing she could have. But now to come on and get a strikeout in her first innings. Tell me a little bit about her and her involvement in the camp so far.
No, we're all so blessed to have her. And I mean, she's such an amazing person. And, yeah, for her to come out and do what she did today was such an amazing experience, I think, for us as well as her family that's here. And, yeah, be excited for everything more to come because she's going to bring a lot.
I'll let you go. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you later this evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Georgia, and thanks, Kendra. Well, Joyce Lester, Aussie Spirit, 4-0 winners over the New Zealand White Sox in Game 1 of the Australia Cup. They didn't have it their own way, the Aussie Spirit, and there were some signs, good signs for New Zealand and New Zealand's fans. A couple of hits from their lineup from Tangiano and Breakwell. Both those players reached on base twice. And then defensively as well, Lara Andrews was solid as a rock at third.
She was. But to watch Australia today and for them to put those hits together, which is something we haven't been doing for a while, that shows some positive signs for the rest of this competition.
Hokamo for New Zealand went the distance. She was required for 6 innings of work, only threw the 2 strikeouts. Struggled a little early, you'd say, but then found her groove in the middle part of that game before giving up a few easy bases in the 5th inning for that insurance run for Australia.
Yeah, she moved the ball around a bit, and coming into those middle innings, she was certainly dominating the batters, which was good to see from New Zealand's point of view. I'm just happy that in 2 innings, Australia decided to get something together and put some pressure on the other team. And I think coming out in that first innings is so rare for Australia, but they did that in today's game. So many good signs. KP, or Kerry Potter, their head coach, must be very happy with that, as must be Tanya Harding, who is the pitching coach, must have been happy with the pitches in today's performance.
And then for Australia, 3 debutants in the game. Maya Juros, 2 hits, and Arwen Kavanagh was able to close out that game for Team Australia.
Oh, yeah, it's so good to see, and it's such great for Australia to have young players come in and do that. And we hope that, and we spoke about it at the beginning of the game, that they might come in, have no fear, and just get out there and stand up to be counted. And they certainly did that.
Well, that'll just about do it for Game 1 of the Australia Cup. Coming up next, in around about 55 minutes' time, is the game between the New Zealand White Sox and the world #1 Japan. Stick around for the next 4 days. You have got some brilliant softball coming your way, and we're looking forward to seeing you then. We're going to have Eric and Justine on the mic for the next game, but we'll be back for Australia-Japan a bit later on tonight.
Can't wait.
Thanks a lot to Joyce. Thanks a lot to Georgia and the teams playing today. Australia won Game 1, 4 runs to 0.